Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of the Woke Bros, fresh off summer hiatus. I'm your co-host, Big Wos, aka Wos and Nando, and I'm joined. I almost forgot my line, man. I'm joined by my brother on the west side of Los Angeles, Nando Vila. What's up, brother?
Ah, man, I missed you so much. Missed your voice, missed your face.
Same,
Good to
man.
be back, dude.
Same. So much freaking jet hopping, globe trotting between the two of us, man.
I know.
It's really ridiculous, but
we're just cool. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry if that offends.
Right. We do have
live
lives.
pretty sweet lives, yeah.
Yes, I will say that, man. We're very blessed. In the time that we've been gone, I went to Jamaica, went to goddamn Miami, went to Vegas. I've been all over the damn place. Not Jamaica. I'm lying. I was in Cabo. Not Jamaica. I was in Jamaica in February, but Cabo, my first time ever in Cabo, had a great time.
Yeah, nice.
They know how to party down there, man. I'll tell you that much. Just great time. A lot of time off, enjoying the summer, but I'm happy to be back. Just in time, man, for the big news. People who've been listening to us, following the shows. We told you guys about the UPS strike that was impending this summer. Did we have Alex Press up here? Am I making that up?
I think you did.
Yeah, we did. We had Alex Press up here. She, incredible coverage in Jacobin Mag, covering the potential strike. These folks, they told management, like, boy, we will shut your entire operation down this summer if you keep playing with us. And man, lo and behold, Nando, them fools came to the table with a bunch of concessions, dude. It's pretty incredible. It's kind of rare that you see this level of just outright victory, man. It just never happens this way. It's just really cool. Some of the stuff they were fighting for, of course, the AC and the cars, was just like, saying that out loud, it just feels absurd in the midst of the craziest heat wave probably of our lives right now. Nando, just absurd that was something on the bargaining table. They've upped the pay of part-time workers from 15 to 21. Eventually we'll get to, I think, 24 by the end of the contract. The UPS is going to have to open at, I think, 15,000 more full-time jobs. The distinction between the part-timers and the full-timers, they're getting rid of that. It's just amazing. That one is my favorite, honestly, Nando.
Yeah.
Because not only are those part-timers getting their just due, at the same time, it's strengthening the union. When you make those jobs realer jobs, everybody's got skin in the game now. And everybody understands what's at stake, and the union just becomes stronger. They have more leverage in that sense because of that. And so, yeah, man, it's really cool, man. Look, Jimmy Hoffa's kid was, a freaking corporate shill. He was one of the little boys that management loved. They loved him to death because he got them favorable deal after favorable deal after favorable deal. Our guy, what's his name? Sean
O'Brien.
I was about to say something crazy Irish. I just remember his name. SEAN, Irish as hell. Yeah, man. Sean O'Brien ran on a more militant sort of campaign. Like, no, we're not playing with labor. We're gonna get what's coming to us. And they did it, man. This is incredible.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think the point that you made about the ending the distinction between like two tiers of workers. Mm-hmm. Like if you had been there and you had seniority, you had like a lot more protections and benefits, better pay than like the newer people. And what that creates is it divides the union. It creates erodes solidarity.
Yep.
It creates resentment, and then it creates from the people on the higher end, they just want to protect their benefits. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it does. And then to your last point, there's I read an interview with a UPS worker, and he was really relieved that the deal was struck and that it was so favorable. And he talks about like the difference with O'Brien vis-a-vis Hoffa is that Hoffa would use the strike potential against the members. They'd be like, dude, listen, like if we don't take this contract,
bro,
like,
you guys are not going to be able to pay rent. You're not going to blah blah blah. Yeah.
And O'Brien flipped it. He was like, he's like, no, I'm using it against the bosses, against management, and that made all the difference in the world. I mean, I think like if you look at some of the stats on UPS, especially post-pandemic. I mean, you remember the early pandemic, like you couldn't go out and buy shit. You had to order everything. Can you imagine, the growth?
The volume. Yeah. Oh my God.
Like their operating profit, UPS operating profit in 2022 was 13.1 billion, which is up from 6.5 billion in 2019. Yeah,
that's fucking nuts.
It's like
dude.
It doubled in 3 years.
And by the way, and the compensation isn't doubling for the workers. We're talking about incremental compensation gains here, Nando.
Yeah. No, yeah. And of course, like what UPS, like all major companies, does when they get so many profits, like they don't share it with the workers. That's not what they do. They share it with their shareholders and their management. So in 2023, UPS is expected to give $8 billion back to shareholders in the form of dividends and stock buybacks. Wow. And the CEO made an average of $23 million a year in the last 2 years. So yeah, again, that's like, well, that's what it is. That's what the union fight is. It's about, there's a pie, how much of it goes to us and how much it goes to them. And it's not anything. I mean, there's other issues always, like the AC in the cars, but that's really about the pie and all that stuff. And there's issues at play, but like at the end of the day, a successful company makes profits and then distributes that profit amongst its workers or its shareholders. Who gets a piece of the pie is up to the militancy and the organization of the workers. And that's UPS showed, the Teamsters showed that if they're militant and if they're organized and if they hold the line, they can extract major gains. I mean, some of these gains like seem like a lot. I mean, dude, fucking, the pay by the end of the contract is going to go up an average of $8 an hour. Like that's a lot, that's $15 grand a year, dude.
Bruh, that's a lot. That's a lot to go from 15 to 23 or 24. Like it's meaningful to the people who are getting those raises, man. It means everything, honestly. And, a couple of things just come to mind when I see this, especially in the wake of the Hollywood strike. Full disclosure, I myself am a member of the Writers Guild. That I'm part of that union, a different branch, but those are my union brothers and sisters who are on strike in Hollywood. The studios made terrible decisions. They're racked with insane debt. And so, they're pretty dug in on what they're willing to do, right? Like nobody told Bob Iger to go buy Fox. That was stupid, right? But whatever, like it happened. They leveraged they're super leveraged in their ability to do so. And so, look, man, like they're not actually like the business is actually in flux, right? It's not that they're not profitable and that my brothers and sisters in the union don't deserve what they're asking for. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like the sort of position of that business is different. And that's why they've taken a different posture where Bob Iger is in fucking Variety saying they're not moving until these motherfuckers lose their houses. Their cribs get foreclosed on, until they get evicted from their cribs, right? Like that type of nasty rhetoric, right? But these guys are like, their business is like in trouble in many ways. UPS is the fucking opposite, right? Yeah. It's like, they're breaking records in profits. And the funny thing is, the reason why I say that is because you see the tact that the CEOs of the movie studios are taking with actors and writers, right? And UPS being able, the Teamsters, and the UPS workers being able to extract these concessions what seems so quickly. To me, it's just obvious that it would have cost them way more money for these guys and girls to strike. Right. Yeah. And the reason why it's an even bigger indictment on management at UPS is that this in no way affects their actual bottom line to do this, like for real, and they wouldn't have otherwise did it.
No, yeah,
but for under the threat of a strike.
Yeah.
Like they did, like I say this all the time, they wouldn't have came of their own volition or, we're just good guys. We're just, benevolent CEOs and you guys deserve a raise. You guys deserve AC when it's 110 degrees in Arizona and you're delivering packages to people. Like they wouldn't have did this shit on their own. And like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah. I mean, the CNN had a study that had this Teamsters struck, gone on strike over UPS because a lot of these UPS, like a lot of the revenue is kind of these long-term contracts or like these kind of enterprise contracts with businesses and shit like that. Like, all of those would go away under the strike. They'd be force majeure and they'd go away under strike and they would just go to FedEx or whatever, like USPS or whatever. And it calculated that it would take them like a decade or more to recover the lost revenue that they would lose, that they would only be able to recover 70% of their overall business.
Oh my
so they
God.
would go down 30% if the union went on strike. So yeah, I mean, it just shows the power of the strike. Again, literally the only tool in the arsenal.
There's no other tool.
Yeah.
There's no other way to do it.
Everything else is like a little tool to polish up the sculpture at the end, like a little, maybe you get little eyelashes or something, but like to break down and make the thing, the only tool is the strike. I mean, that's it. There's nothing else.
There's just nothing else. Like browbeating these people in the press and all of this kind of thing. It would not have worked.
Protests on the street.
No, you have to directly hit their pockets. Yeah. Nothing else works. And so, yeah, man, this is just an incredible day for American labor. Again, it's been 40, 50 years of L after L after L after L after union bust after union bust. Both parties of government, right? It's been bipartisan, the union busting and crushing. But yeah, man, the Teamsters got to fucking win today, man. And it's cool. And what I will say about the WGA strike, I thought they were in for some trouble, but man, that shit took a different tenor once the actors got involved. Like people who are actually famous command actual attention and like have like legitimate megaphones and platforms. Like this shit took on a different characteristic, right? And I think that's cool. And obviously I'm wishing them all the best in their endeavors, man. But yeah, man, we had to come back with that UPS Teamsters victory. Just incredible stuff.
And the United Auto Workers, their contract with the Big Three is up, I think, in September. So watch out for the United Auto Workers against the Big Three in Detroit.
I mean, listen, talk about a union that used to fucking matter. I mean, like, they're one of the most powerful unions in the country, if not the most powerful, honestly, at a certain point in our country's history. So, yeah, that's definitely a situation that bears monitoring. So, yeah, man, we want to end off the show with a little footy discussion. Nando.
Is your footy fandom just growing like every day?
Every day. Every day.
Yeah,
and it's so
great sport. It's a great sport.
Incredible. It's not just the game that I love, obviously, watching. It's just the stories around the sport. It's just as gossipy and ridiculous as the NBA, totally. If not more. And I just love that. Like it's just simpatico with the shit that I'm already doing in my fucking job. And so it's cool. And then, of course, like I find myself finding excuses to fuck with the Women's World Cup. You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm into the Messi thing, the MLS thing. Like I'm just gobbling up all the football that I can, Nando. It's incredible. But I did wanted to first start off with the Kylian Mbappe situation with the Saudis because one, he's the best player in the world. Two, it's been years now. He's been rumored, for those of you who don't know, Nando Vila is a die-hard Madrista, Real Madrid fan. Like this guy he's a sicko Madrid fan. And for years it's been rumored that he's been trying to get there. He's been trying to get himself to Madrid to leave his current squad, PSG, in League One in France. Then reports come out that the Saudis, because that Messi money got freed up, allegedly offered, and we don't know the legitimacy of this offer. We can't really speak to that. Of course, it's the Saudis. Like, there's no shadier, more blacker a box than what's going on in Saudi Arabia with MBS and that regime and what they're doing. But allegedly, they offered 370 something million to PSG for the transfer fee, and then Kylian Mbappe would then get $770 million to play one season in Saudi Arabia. In the following days, it got put out that he's not fucking with them, that he's moving on. But what do you make of that whole mess, Nando?
I mean, listen, a lot of this is Kylian Mbappe's own fault. He was a free agent last summer and could have come to Madrid for free as a free agent and gotten paid really well and, been on the team with the most Champions Leagues in the history of European soccer. There's 14. There's 14 there. You got to count them, Your boys at Man City have the one.
Yeah, just one.
We
just
got 14,
just one.
okay? This isn't ancient history either, Like,
You sound like a fucking Yankee fan right now. Disgusting. 27 World Series, baby.
I can count him over there. So he had a chance of coming as a free agent. Would have been clean, He fulfilled his contract, whatever. And instead he re-signed with PSG. I mean, if you remember last year, it was like Macron got involved, the Emir of Qatar got involved. It was this whole
they probably put the full court press on him, the heartstrings and all of that type of thing.
They put the full court press on him. I think what they also promised him is that he'd be like a kind of LeBron style player GM,
Wow.
Which I don't think they then kind of honored, what I mean? And I think Mbappe was like, okay, well, and then to be clear, like what he's doing now is he's got a 2-year contract. So he's up next summer and PSG don't want him to go for free. So they want him to resign. It's kind of like you try to resign your player a year before
before he hits free agency. Yeah. Just like the NBA. Yeah.
Yeah. So they want him to resign. And he's like, I'm not interested in resigning. Like I'll fulfill my contract, but I'm not going to sign a new one. And so now the Qataris are freaking out and they've kept him off of the preseason tour. Like he's not training with the team right now. Wow. Like they're traveling, or I think they're in Japan or in Asia somewhere.
Man City was definitely in Japan.
Yeah. And they're playing preseason friendlies there, like as there are a bunch of teams here in the United States. And he's not there. He's not there. Like he's being kind of locked out. And so the Saudis are desperate to find the Qataris are definitely desperate to find a solution. Madrid's waiting in the wings. I think the reports are, if you believe them, that Madrid has a $200 million package ready for PSG.
Hey, 200 mil.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And so everyone's kind of waiting and seeing what happens. I mean, they're trying. I think they're trying desperately to put him anywhere else. The problem is that there's few teams that can absorb that kind of fee, like the teams that would already kind of are like, well,
they've already shot their wad. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really is a game of chicken right now. Like either he ends up at Madrid or he fucking stays.
Can you explain to me what is their opposition to sending him to Madrid?
I think it's a matter of like personal, just kind of animosity that they're just like, he's been wanting to go to these guys forever. Like, I get
it. It's like these guys have been tampering with our fucking player for years. And it's just disgusting how they've been openly and brazenly poaching our best player, and we're not going to fucking stand for it. I get it.
Yeah, and if you saw like when Madrid had that miraculous comeback against PSG 2 seasons ago when they won the Champions League and the series of miraculous comebacks, including Man City and Chelsea and PSG. The first one was against PSG. Karim Benzema scored 3 goals in 9 minutes to turn the tie around and win it. And if you see like in the stadium, the president of PSG, a guy named Nasser Al Khelaifi, had a total like fucking meltdown and like like fucking like he just had a total fucking meltdown. He like really hates losing to Madrid. It's like just they don't like it.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, because somebody once told me that like you'd be hard pressed to ever see the PSG like do a transfer with Manchester City because the Qataris hate the fucking Emiratis. Like they just resent them. It's just like, fuck that. We're not helping your team get better. And so I'm just like, what's the issue with fucking Madrid? What's their beef with them?
It's more that it's just like it's more personal, I would say.
Got you.
It's not like a geopolitical thing or anything.
Got you. It's just personal. It's just we hate this fucking club. They get on our nerves. So what is your best guess as to what happens? It feels like the obvious thing is that he's just gonna come back and leave for nothing next summer.
Yeah, I mean the question is like, will they really not play him all year?
Wow.
Like, will they pay him his huge fucking salary? I think he's the highest paid player in the world.
I read it's 80 euros.
Yeah,
80 euros per season. 80
I mean,
million,
who knows how much Messi's getting from like, all the shit.
I know the Apple conversions and all of that.
But I mean, Mbappe is up there in terms of most expensive
80 mil
contracts.
is nice. This is a nice deal.
Yeah. And like I've read things that I don't know if are 100% gonna happen or not, but like there is a potential issue that UEFA may crack down a little bit on the financial fair play, which is basically kind of like a very, very weak attempt at a salary cap, which is like you can only spend kind of what you generate in income. And what the Qataris and Man City and all these people do is like they just sponsor the team, and like just give them a bunch of money. But like that shit isn't like
right. Like the United Arab Emirates have a deal with the fucking Man City that pays them a ridiculous amount that they would never pay any other club to sponsor.
That they would never get on the open market from any other brand. And it's like Man City's under investigation from the Premier League and UEFA and a million things. Like, they have 100 different investigations open or some shit. So like there is like a chance that they're actually kind of worried of getting a major sanction on this financial fair play. I mean, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It's never really happened. The UEFA hasn't really cracked down on it, even though it's technically something they should do. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess he comes to Madrid. Madrid has kept the number 9 jersey open this season. They haven't. Benzema left,
so he would just slot right into the Benzema role.
Yeah, I mean, I think Madrid might change their formation a little bit and play a 4-4-2 diamond because they got this guy Jude Bellingham from Borussia Dortmund, this English guy. He's fucking really good. He's 20. He scored a great goal yesterday. He's 20 years old. He's a fucking $100 million player. He's a fucking
Dortmund, man. These motherfuckers just produce
one of the best talent development
year after year.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, absolutely, one of the best. Like they just consistently. They just have a great farm system and they know how to develop young talent. Like if I was a young kid and I had a chance to go play for Dortmund, like go there, like over Bayern, or some shit, you know what I mean? So I think they might play Vinicius and Mbappe up top in a kind of free 2-forward role with Bellingham playing the number 10 right behind them. Like that seems like what they're going to try to do. Benzema was like really the kind of point guard in a 4-3-3 thing with 2 guys on the wing, and he's like kind of playing off of them. Mbappe and Vinicius are not those type of players. They're kind of more direct.
Yep.
Benzema was he was an amazing goal scorer, but he was also like a point guard. He would receive the ball and then dish. Vinicius and Mbappe just have to go, So yeah.
Exciting stuff, man. I really hope he does end up in Real because y'all know how I feel about the French league and PSG in general. It's a waste of everybody's time, honestly. Like
and he's just so good. Like we'll never really see how
great he can be. Yeah.
He's got to test himself. Like
100%.
Yeah.
And so I want to end off, man, with the situation that's happening at Inter Miami. Of course, I'm sure You saw the free kick at the buzzer from Lionel Messi in the opening match. The next match, he dropped 2 goals in the first half, just effortlessly.
Sergio Busquets. I saw a hilarious tweet, which was like, Sergio Busquets, because Sergio Busquets is an absolute genius of soccer. Like he is a genius of this game. He has no physical like he's like a tall, lanky dude who cannot move, and he's one of the greatest players of all time.
Right.
He someone had a funny tweet that was like, I love watching Busquets at Inter Miami, like just, you know, when he's receiving the ball with his back to goal, he does these kind of classic feints that would always, like, you know, he'd always fake people out. He's like, oh, he's doing the feints, you know, to evade the pressure, except he turns around and the pressure never came. Like, this is on the last. And he's just like, wait, I'm alone. I can just like receive the ball and turn around.
Nobody's here. Yeah.
So, like, he got the ball and like he looked, he's like, oh, I have all the time in the world. And I'm like, oh, look, there's Messi. He's wide open. I'm just going to
You're not in the Champions League anymore, kid. But yeah, it's been pretty fun to watch. And obviously I listen to a lot of Levitard and them. Mike Ryan is having a fucking absolute ball with this. He's been a day one Inter Miami season ticket holder.
No, so me and you, we're LAFC guys, dude. We're LAFC
guys. LAFC all the way. And yeah, by the way, we got to make sure we're at that Messi match.
I got you.
100%. But yeah, it's just been super fun to watch, because I think this is something legitimately that people out here are going to try to glom onto and want to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the name; it's that Messi's still legitimately a great player. Yeah. As old as he is, he's still fucking incredible.
Yeah. No, he really is. I mean, he's still got the dude. Like, I mean, he's still the soccer alien. He was just put on this earth to play soccer. He, you know, like, ball at his feet, you know, like he's gonna.
And then of course we hear Iniesta's is on his way.
Luis Suarez.
Suarez.
This is doubling my LAFC fandom, because everyone's like, "Oh, are you excited? Like Inter Miami?" I'm like, "I don't like Inter Miami.
Fuck these Barcelona guys.
I'm from Miami, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah,
like this is the most poser thing I've ever heard in my life. Just fucking sign all the Barca legends.
I heard Xavi's on his way.
He's gonna come out of retirement.
V is coming out of retirement. It's a joke. But yeah, it's definitely something. I'm gonna pay the $5. I haven't yet, but I'm gonna pay the $5 for Apple Plus to watch some of these matches and just have some fun with it, man. I'm really excited to, you know, all of the clubs right now are traveling and doing their preseason friendlies. We just had Barcelona and Arsenal play at SoFi here in Los Angeles. Just a really dope time. The season is kicking off. I'm really excited. I'm going to be in England on August 19th in London. Going to try to catch a match while I'm out there, hopefully. Yeah, man, just exciting stuff for big football fanatics like you and me, Nando.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a good time. Good time to be a soccer fan.
Anyway, that's our show for today, guys. We will see you guys next week. I can't promise that we're going to be on a week-to-week throughout the summer. Our schedules are kind of fucking ridiculous right now, but we're going to try to get some more in here as the summer goes by. Shouts to my man, John Gervais, for keeping the trains running on time. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.